and these cohorts have fought their way through the people enslaving them in their hometown of Holmwood. They have freed barbarians, rangers, and sorcerers in the world's worst fantasy traits dealing with issues we ever had. At which point they have now defeated most of the capital, defeated most of the forces, and are left just with the final boss. Because of the video game analogy that we just threw in there. That's with us the final fight to free this town completely from the overlords that control it. Before we dive in too deeply, I'd like our players to introduce themselves. Can you please give me your name, your character's name, what pronouns you prefer, and tell us a bit about who your character is and what they do in the world, starting with Chris.
I am Chris Mackenzie. I will be playing the character of Emmett Killigna, who uses he pronouns. A bit of a nervous wreck. Appears to be very accident prone so far, and is a human storm sorcerer.
There we go. Thank you very much.
I'm Naomi. I'm playing Roberta Risk, who is a elf bard journalist extraordinaire, documenting the war that's going on right now. My personal pronouns are she, her, and Roberta's pronouns are she, her.
Thank you.
I'm Dominic Allen. I'm playing Testus Wind Botherer, a human sorcerer getting to grips with his dubious powers of wind manipulation.
You can guess where he's gone with this already, I hope.
Very heavily on this. And, it's a he/him pronoun. He's a keen bean.
Keen bean!
But maybe misguided. There we go.
Nice use of the word bean there for your theme as well. Excellent.
Indeed.
Simon.
My name is Simon Mader. I'm playing a dwarf barbarian called Constance Payne, a jaded adventurer who is fighting to avenge his dead wife, who is convinced that this cult had something to do with her murder.
Whose name he sometimes forgets.
Whose name he sometimes forgets. In the heat of battle. Yes, he's him, her, him, he.
He, him.
And
Yes.
and he's got a big hammer and he's keen to get hitting things with it.
Delightful. Chloe, can I have some mysterious music, please? The courtyard of this keep, of this castle, has been cleared. You and your allies have fought your way through and managed to push the cult back, or either capture them or kill them. All that is left is the ominous keep at the far side of this courtyard, the central part of this castle, where earlier you saw Lady Mizoth, the armoured knight, death knight some might say, has stalked back inside and escaped. The four of you have been chosen to lead the vanguard to enter this keep and deal with whatever is left inside of the cult. The door is pushed open and the four of you enter this gigantic throne room of the keep. You may be expecting more people in here, but it is currently abandoned. Columns either side range down this about 50-foot long room, and they appear to have been meticulously carved away and chipped away to look more organic, to look more like they were grown out of the ground, but you can clearly see they are the remnants of the ancient throne room. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the word for kingdom when it's a queen. A queen ruled over this. There's a throne and, yeah.
Queendom.
Is it queendom?
It's
queendom. I wasn't sure. Thank you. Of this ancient queendom, it appears they have tried to pervert or change this space into something that better suits their needs. But apparently, at this point, it's abandoned. What would the four of you like to do?
I would like to investigate for signs of, particularly signs of like the leadership here and like what Lady Mizoth was doing.
Sure, please do.
That is a critical success, so I rolled 20 on the 20-sided dice.
Fantastic. Well done.
Where was that in the fight?
We just had a fight in the last hour.
Did I get the drawbridge down? Yes, I did.
I'm saying this is in character, that's fair. As you walk in, Roberta, you are in reporter mode. You switch on, you have a look around. There is some detritus on the floor. You can see that some of the grue, these horrible monsters the cult seem to keep almost like pets, have been around here. They tend to leave a bit of, trash around them. They are quite dog-like in their behaviour and demeanour. However, what you also see is that the throne and a lot of the area around it has been kept intact. almost like this area was used, much like it would have been during the Queendom, as a place of command, a place of planning, a place of acquisition. They very much took over and kept a lot of the stuff that was already there, because why go through all the effort? Around the throne, there is a large window at the back. It is stained glass, and it is very much showing depictions of the Queen and of Deriland and of the agricultural capital that it was at the time. They haven't bothered doing anything with that. But around the throne, there are tables with maps and letters. There is lots and lots of information on here that you could glean with your 20.
I would like to.
Cool. We'll get to that in a second. What are the three of you doing while this happens?
Is there anything in terms that you said the columns have been sort of changed?
Yes.
Is there anything that I would know from my arcane study of my wind powers that anything that looks arcane or...
Roll an Arcana check, please.
Thank you very much. That's a 2 plus 4, that's a 6.
A 6.
There's nothing that relates to
Flatulence,
I'm guessing.
No, it's flatulence. No, you're not the world's best student, Testus.
No, that's true.
You start to piece
My
together.
powers come from within me.
You start to piece together. It is possible, but you don't know, that the cult were able to use some of the power of this space and pervert it to their own means. That potentially a bit of the power that maintained the cult was magical and radiated from this room. Certainly, changing bits of a room to allow them more control over it, or make it more like themselves, is probably got some magical properties. With a 6, you don't know what they are or how it worked. Constance.
Thank you. I would like to take a little rest and appeal to the group. Does anyone have any sort of things that might help me heal? Because I was quite badly injured in the last fight,
Now listen.
having thrown myself at 5
You did.
cultists.
You threw yourself headlong into battle.
Like, I
For
can
the
play.
team.
I can play a song of rest. That's fine.
That would be under a short rest, which means you'd be resting in this room for an hour.
Maybe
That's
we-
probably not a... It is. It's probably not a fantastic idea.
Well, then, does anyone have anything like a potion?
All I can do is mend your clothes a little bit.
I will.
I mean, that's something.
Do you mend his clothes a little bit?
As I'm pouring over.
Do you really casually, offhandedly just heal him?
As I'm pouring over the maps and everything, I'm like, oh, just stop complaining, you'll be fine, and cast healing word.
Thank you.
So I have
word.
I have
What
a
does
me-
that do?
That's right.
I'm going to roll a dice for you, and then you will get that many hit points back. I rolled 4, which means you will get 8 hit points back total.
You receive 8 hit points back.
I'll take it.
I've
Lovely.
got mending, but all that does is repair a single break or tear in an object, and I'm mostly got experience with trousers. I know. That's why I've got that spell.
Your trousers are also mended, but they weren't broken in the first place, so that's absolutely fine. Emmett, what are you doing?
Being the slightly nervous wreck that Emmett is, I'd like to essentially look around the room and see if is there any sign that maybe an ambush could be happening, or any obvious signs of traps. I don't want to die here.
Roll a perception check for me.
Perception, 13.
13. You look around this room, and there are some doors coming off this room, but with a quick listen at them, you don't hear anything too problematic. Do you want to crack one open?
Slightly terrified too.
It's up to you.
Yes, why not? Let's be slightly heroic. Yes.
Excellent.
How bad can it be?
You crack a door open, and you realise that most of these doors go into stairs that go up from here, presumably further into the keep. Listening out, you cannot hear much above you at all.
That's good. I relay this information to my colleagues. We appear to be safe for the moment.
Yeah. Roberta,
Yes.
you're looking through these sheets in front of you.
Yeah, I'm looking through Eldritch sheets with Eldritch symbols on them. which is
Yes,
all
you
fine.
are. In front of you, you find maps. These are maps primarily of Deriland and of the surrounding landscape. What you see on said maps is markings of what look like mines. They are marked with a traditional mine symbol on the map that you'd find on any Google map. And you also, within said maps, find information about strongholds where the cult has various larger spaces. You can also see there is a symbol marked off the coast that you don't know what that symbol is, but it looks like it's important. It's a bit bigger than the others. Thank you. You also find sheets of paper that denote to the ore movements, and they describe ore being taken from various mines, in all cases to Goldcrest, and then from Goldcrest they are taken, what it says on there is, to the temple. It doesn't say how it's taken to the temple, but it appears that everything is funneled to Goldcrest and then taken to the temple in some way, shape or form that you don't understand. Because it doesn't talk about movements outside of the castle or outside of Goldcrest, that it just says it goes to the temple. Almost like it's easy or takes them no effort.
And someone told me earlier that it's used as teleportation.
Correct.
That is very interesting.
Roberta is indeed plotting her way through the plot.
As all good journalists do.
Correct. There is also a final bit of paper
Yep, I'm going to look at it.
on which is written experimentations with ore, and it describes how, if left with the ore, people tend to start developing difficult, strange behaviour, and in the long run are turned into these Gru. That's where they come from. You have all the information in front of you now.
Right, so I'm going to, just for a second, just calm myself.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to roll up the maps and I'm going to put them in my backpack. And
You can take everything with you, that's totally fine.
and then I'm going to hand the... Do you think we've met before? Before this moment in time?
Probably.
That's what I'm asking.
Probably. You're all part of the same rebellion. You probably sort of heard of each other.
I've been around.
Yeah. I'm going to...
Constan's been stalking the edges of every single camp you've
Yeah.
been in, berating the world for taking his wife away from him.
I'm gonna say to you might want to read this, you might not want to, but I think you need to know it no matter what. And hand in the experimentation folder.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't told anyone this ever before, but I can't read. So I'll take it and I'll go, oh yeah,
Roll a deception check.
I can read this easily. But I'll do it later. That's a 2.
-1.
-1.
Roberto, you can't read.
I am going to not embarrass him. I'm gonna just say, look, from what I've learned about this ore in the past, they are leaving people next to it to turn them into those things, those mangled things. The Gru.
You don't think. And I go to the throne and I smash it with my hammer.
Right, make an attack roll.
17. Plus
You smash that throne. Roll some damage on it for me.
Two-handed, so it's D10. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You smash that throne to kindling.
Yeah! I shout my wife's name. Clara!
You can actually shout, you know.
Clara!
There we go. That's better. Yeah. Good.
I have no idea if that's what happened to my wife. I just know that she disappeared. She's probably dead.
We shall see. You realise as he's doing this that you're not hearing any other sound from this keep at all.
I think they've deserted the castle, or they've gone underneath.
Cowards.
Kidmet! Oh no.
Oh no, everyone out there's the keep is not connected to the same place you were earlier.
Okay, thank God. Alright. I was really worried.
This is all separate.
Kidmet was dead now.
I mean, I could be very nerdy and talk to you about how keep design made sure there was no extraneous entrances or exits, but we won't go into that too much detail. No, he's fine. What would you like to do?
I think we should investigate and have a look around and see what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't see anyone leave,
Correct.
so they must be underground.
Unless they've used... When I interrogated a cultist earlier, he said that the ore was used as teleportation magic.
So there may be a portal.
Yeah, I think they've teleported out of here.
Are we gonna have to go up these stairs?
Yes.
But do you think they've used teleportation magic, or do you think they have a fixed portal that they use?
No, I think they've used it all.
Oh.
Or they might have a teleportation portal type thing. I'm not an expert on teleportation magic.
Well, you know what the best way to
And
find
you only
out
found-
is.
And you only found stairs going up, there's nothing going down. That we found.
Only stairs going up so far, yes.
Okay.
I'm happy to stealth ahead if you want to follow up and then you two lead them from the back.
Yes.
Sure.
With these
Just
sorcerers at
watching
the
you in
back.
the fight, I'd rather he was closest to me, so if something goes wrong, I've got strong help. No offense.
What do you say? My -1 modifier to strength isn't great.
It's alright. Mine's -2.
Who's going upstairs?
Me. I'm sneaky.
I'm going.
Then
upstairs
me.
behind.
Okay.
I rolled a modified 20.
Excellent. Who is following?
Me.
Roll a stealth roll.
Oh, stealth. That's a critical fail. That's 1. I'm so angry.
Yeah, it's all that creaking. That doesn't wear any armor. He's a
I'm
barbarian.
more thinking you're.
He's
worried-
bare-chested.
Yeah, I'm more thinking you're worried about the fact your wife might be a Gru.
Wow, he hadn't thought of that till this point. How awful.
Stairs might really take it out.
When do we get to the top? A shout.
Lovely. Are you two following?
Yeah, I think I'll be third. I think I'll be ahead of you for particularly because of your magic. I don't think I want to be following.
Stay in
behind.
front of him. Yeah, just it's the kind of person you want to stay in front of. That makes sense. Now you're all making your way up the stairs, and you have conclusively, as a group, failed that stealth roll. So I'm going to say you don't need to roll stealth checks. They know you're coming.
That's the creak of the stair.
As you continue up the stairs, Chloe, something more epic, please. Do. As you continue up the stairs curve around into a room directly above the room you were just in. As you all round the corner, blue energy and green energy lights up the walls around you. And as you round the corner and look in, the view of this room is dominated by a large arch that has been built on what looks like a religious dais that has been completely overturned and destroyed. Those of you that have seen the ore and work with the ore, which is most of you, can tell that the arch is made of it. Next to the arch floats a horrific, deformed monster. A gigantic eye surrounded by other eyes floats in mid-air, seemingly doing nothing. Next to it, Lady Mizoth, who you have all seen and know, is currently shouldering a box that looks like it contains more of the ore onto her shoulder, and is about to step through the portal when she hears you and turns and sees the four of you entering the room.
I throw a javelin at her.
Immediately just do it.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Back.
I will allow you a surprise round. Please throw a javelin at her.
9.
9. Anyone else want to do something on the surprise round? I will allow it.
I think Emmett's surprised by this.
Fine? Fine by me. No?
Oh, no, I'm not gonna do it. No.
Up to you.
I'm
Also shocked.
Can I hide?
Yeah.
Great. Oh, that's a 25. I'm gonna hide.
Roberta is not next to you anymore.
I'm casting shield on myself. How long does shield last?
It's only a reaction. Only
Oh, fine, then I won't. I'll wait.
You're going to wait as well.
I'm gonna take a few steps back though.
Step behind Constance.
Well, I was back anyway. So
Some team.
Like, I'm happy for her to leave.
I'm right behind you.
Constance. Lady Mizoth turns and looks at you. You've only seen her from a distance before. Up close, this spiky black armor covers her completely. Roll an investigation check.
That's a critical fail.
It covers her completely.
What a weird coat.
I don't care about your arm.
Her face a rictus skull that appears to be a plate helmet over her head. She is currently shouldering, clearly quite strong, a box that you can see contains the ore. As she looks back at you, the javelin flashed out towards her. She doesn't move as it passes through the portal next to her.
Oh, well, at least it went through the portal. Aim for the moon, you'll hit the stars, right?
Somewhere in the far distance, ow, my leg! No, it doesn't happen.
We've got a cultist on the other side.
So, well done. You freed Goldcrest. Didn't need it anymore anyway. You and your people are nothing. We'll be back. And she turns a step through the portal. I will give you all a reaction to say something or do something.
She's going to step through, it's going to close, and then we're going to be left with the beholder.
Correct.
I don't know.
Can I cast... Now, here's a question.
Sure.
Cloud of Daggers is a cube of 5 foot on each side.
Yes, it is.
Stays where it is.
Yes, it
If
does.
I cast it on the portal, she'd have to step through it and take damage to go through the portal. Correct.
Arguably, yes.
Arguably is enough for me. Cloud of Daggers!
Lovely.
Sharp flatulence.
You create a cloud of sharp flatulence which fills the portal. Roll the damage on it.
What was that? Do you remember? It was
44.
44. That's the one. 10.
10 points of damage.
I throw another javelin at her.
Go for it.
Because the
I
first
position
one's so
myself.
great. Here we go. Javelin. Oh, 9 plus 6. 15.
15.
Yeah.
It hits her and just skips off her armor. She's very heavily armored. Dunk.
Can I position myself so that the portal is just behind the beholder and I'm got a straight line from the beholder to portal?
Yes.
And then have Thunderwave at the beholder to get rid of the beholder.
Yes, you can.
It's a really good idea.
It's a really, really good idea.
And it will take damage through my sharp flatulence, will it not?
It will.
Yes.
Excellent.
By all means. What am I rolling against?
It's all I.
saving throw. Constitution, right?
Yeah.
It's a Constitution saving throw, isn't it?
Some spicy onions.
Con against 14.
It takes the damage from your thunder wave, which also wakes it up. Well done. But it isn't pushed back 10 feet, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. But roll the damage, please. 2d8, please. 11 points of damage. The beholder zombie is awoken by this. Awakens. It opens its one single bloodshot eye and stares at you directly for waking it. Would you like the action?
I would like to say to Misa, that's real big talk for such. No. Your gods abandoned you, so forgive me for not taking you very seriously, and that's vicious mockery, so it's a wisdom save. No, she's fast.
Vicious mockery.
You think she's sneering? It's hard to tell. The skull mouth plate moves when she talks, but it's hard to tell a sneer on a face with no skin. She just laughs and says, "Terence, all yours." Steps through the portal and vanishes.
Well, I'm not scared now.
Guys,
I'm terrified.
I need you all to roll initiative for me.
12. 12.
I need you all to wait so I can do it in order.
Do you get any modifiers?
It's your dex modifier.
16. 10.
Anyone roll above a 20?
Who?
Cool. Anyone roll above a 15?
Yes, with modifiers. 16.
16. Thank you. The beholder will go before you because it rolled a natural 20. Anyone roll above a 10?
I got 12.
12. 10. Thank you. Emmett.
Emmett got 6.
Emmett got 6. Right. Do this. The beholder, watching all of you, its eyes around its head twitch and move, and one of them singles in on you, Emmett, because you woke it.
It just wanted them to go away.
Can you roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
17.
17. A yellow beam shoots out of this eye beam next to it and washes over you. It would have paralyzed you, but you... 19. Well, it would have paralyzed you. If you'd rolled lower, it would have paralyzed you, but it didn't. So you are not paralyzed by this effect. Yeah. Testus, what would you like to do?
I cast chromatic orb of... Oh, what would hurt an eye? Acid.
Acid. Very well. Roll the spell attack roll to hit it.
Oh. 15.
15, that hits it.
Oh, good.
Roll the damage.
What's
3d8.
3d8.
3d8 acidic damage, burning into this undead eye tyrant. Like that.
That's 20 total.
20 in total. Excellent. Acid steams into this creature and its central eye starts to squint as acid starts to burn rivulets into the gigantic central eye. Well done, Testus. Roberta, what would you like to do?
At the risk of being an absolute idiot, I'm gonna go and stab it with the rapier, but I'm gonna try and move around some behind it, but not going through the teleportation thing.
Very well. You run around and combat roll around it, and in doing so, stab to the side, trying to impale it on your rapier.
Well, that's my dice gone forever.
Do you need it? Got one of mine.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I'll grab it.
That is a natural 1 on the floor.
Well, it doesn't count,
Rolls don't
does
count.
it?
Rolls don't count.
And that's an 18
Everyone
plus
does.
6.
18 plus 6. You absolutely and resolutely stab it. Thank you very much, Nemo. As you roll past it, your rapier piercing deep into its flesh. Roll the damage, please.
Oh, max damage. That's 12 damage.
12 points of damage. Excellent. Well done. You stab into its side and pierce it. And because beholders float by arcane magic, but also air sacs, you also get a very strange sort of gust of rather disgusting smelling air blowing out as well. Testus is pleased. Constance.
Why is this the arrow fart jokes?
Sorry, it's just the way it happened. Constance, what would you like to do?
I fly into a rage.
You rage!
Oh, this! I'm pretty convinced this big eye was the one that killed my wife. And I run at it, both hands wielding my massive hammer.
Do it.
I smash it in the eye.
Roll attack.
Ooh, 18 plus 6.
You leap into the air and bring your hammer down, swatting it like a fly, straight down on top of it. Roll the damage.
1 plus 2.
3.
And then plus 4, so 4 plus 7.
7 points of damage. As you hit it, you realise you are using a blunt instrument to hit a balloon. A lot of its damage is going off it. You do hit it, though, for damage. It does happen. Emmett, what would you like to do? Your allies are now surrounding this creature, stabbing, hitting, aciding.
I don't know if it's if they've diverted its attention quite enough, so I'm going to use my meta magic
Yes,
and subtle achromatic orb of acid,
yes.
so that it appears that the other sorcerer is more of a threat than me.
You know, that's not technically how that works, but I like it, so it's going to happen.
Sorcerer's acid magic. There's a second acid magic. Hey,
Make a spell attack roll, please.
a 23.
That resolutely and absolutely hits. 3d8 acid damage that the beholder swears came from Testus as well.
11 acid damage.
11 acid damage. Thank you.
And I would like to back away.
You're welcome to back away to the back of the room. That's fine. Lovely. You have all attacked and mercilessly damaged this creature. Its eyes cast around at all of you, trying to find a target. Who is it going to go for? I'm going to roll to see who it goes for as well. It's the only fair way to do it. Constance is going for you. One of its eyes peers around and looks at you, and you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
12, 13, 15.
15. Again, a paralyzing ray washes over you, but you are not affected by it. You hold steadfast against this effect. Tessus, what would you like to do? You must be running low on spell slots.
Actually, first level spell slots, I've still got 3 of them.
Oh, excellent.
So let's have another
I'm running on
chromatic orb.
Another chromatic
This
orb.
time, let's go for fire.
Fire, splendid. Roll me a spell attack roll.
That's it, critical.
Cool, roll the damage for me.
How many of those have we had this
Hey man, it happens.
I'm not using these dice again.
20 points of damage. Cool, and you rolled a 1. Can you... I need a coin to flip. Anyone got a coin to flip?
Just roll d4 and do even odds.
Ah, well, the coins are pretty. Can you roll a 6-sided dice? If it's 1 to 3, it hits Constance. If it's 4 to 6, it hits Roberta. Emmett's in the corner hiding! He avoided this scenario.
It's a 5.
I'm sorry, Roberta, you take 20 points of fire damage as your ally burns a fireball into you and shouts, whoops, I presume?
If you wanted a healing word later, you've got another thing coming.
We've all got beef with each other now.
Well, there's some friendly fire for you, Roberta.
I am
For
going to
now.
recover briefly from that fire.
I'm sorry, you've been burned rather severely.
Yeah, and then I'm going to stab into the beholder zombie again.
You do note, as the fireball washes over you, that behind you, the archway made of ore that was at this point having a portal inside it is now starting to glow as spells have been shot past it. What would you like to do?
Is there a window nearby that I can jump out of?
Yeah?
He knows what I'm going to do. Right. I'm going to say to everyone, get out of the room,
Okay.
and then hold my action
Okay.
to tap the orb
And then make a break for it.
and make a break for it out of the window.
Okay. That is absolutely fine by me. Constance.
I'm going to try and chuck this beholder through the portal.
You have completely ignored all I just said.
It is large. It will be difficult. It's also suppurating goo from various different wounds. It's not looking very healthy. Your ally also just suggested that you run. It's entirely up to you what you do with this information.
Okay, yeah, no, I should probably run. But I consider chucking it through the portal and think, you're a pretty good guy, Constance. But you're not going to do that right now. So I'm going to... Can I run up to the stairs?
Yes.
Whilst chucking a javelin?
Of course you can. Absolutely.
Cowards, the hero's retreat. That's me.
Well, you chuck a javelin, doesn't go. I mean, it goes in the portal again, and again, miles away, you hear, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" You're hitting people through portals. That is all that's happening there. However, you did leave its range, so it gets attack of opportunity on you. That is a 12. Does a 12 hit you?
No.
It chomps as you go because it has a large mouth under the eye, but you managed to roll out of the way, and you are now running down the stairs out of range. 1. Emmett, what would you like to do?
Emmett's done more damage to himself since being here than anything else has.
Yes.
So Emmett's just gonna dash.
Where are you dashing to? You going down the stairs?
Yeah,
Constance?
downstairs back. I want to get away now.
Cool. 2. It is now the Beholder's turn before Tessus's turn. There are 2 of you left in the room. It's going for you, Testus.
I can cast shield.
You can, but this doesn't is affected by shield. It's a saving throw.
Oh, fine.
My apologies. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
That is 17.
Good. A beam shoots out of one of the eyes towards you, and you leap out of the way. And you see where the beam landed. It rakes a literal line of burning destruction, disintegrating the floor where you were, which rakes around and rakes up the wall near you. You only just avoided a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Ha ha! It is now also your turn, Testus, and your allies told you to run the fuck away. Are you going to do that?
Windows open.
They are. The windows up here are also stained glass windows.
If you would like to smash it before
I've
that
got a plan.
happens.
This is potentially a little suicide-y, but let's see what happens.
Sure.
I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb again, but use my Tempestuous Magic to hurl myself through the window as I do. Like that.
Cool.
This time, let's have a Chromatic Orb of classic Thunder.
Thunder. Yeah, go for it. Roll spell attack roll.
That is a 20. I'm on 21.
The chromatic orb explodes against the beholder zombie, doing a lot of damage to it. Roll the damage.
Was it 48?
3d8.
12.
12 points of damage to the beholder as you blast it with damage all through its, racking through its body. More rents are appearing and more goo is separating from it. It is not doing very well. At the same time, you leap through a stained glass window. Can you please make an athletics check for me?
Yes. 4.
Oh wow, you take 2 points of damage as you are cut a bit by the window as you jump through it. You are now 50 feet off the ground. You are currently using your tempestuous magic to propel yourself up a little bit and managing to maintain this height at 50 feet. But it is a 50-foot drop and you will need to be very careful with how you handle this situation. You're also going right down on the outside of the castle onto spikes. Wooden spikes. Just so you're aware of the situation.
Sure.
Roberta, you were holding your action. It is also your turn. Your allies have all left the room.
Great, perfect. So here's what's going to happen, and
'Kay.
I will let you. So I'm gonna tap the oar.
Yep.
I'm gonna dive out the window.
Yep.
And as a reaction, I'm gonna use when I can dive out the window on myself and Tempest.
What are you going to use?
I'm gonna use Featherfall.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Also means you'll fall more slowly away from the explosion.
Yeah, it does. That is what it means. But you know what? There's spikes down there. There's an explosion up here. It'll probably be fine.
I will tell you what.
It won't be fine.
I will make this fair.
Yes.
You have two choices.
Okay.
Either you tap the oar, jump out the window, cast Featherfall on yourself, and you might take damage from the colossal explosion probably about to happen because this oar is explosive. Or you cannot do that, cast Featherfall a bit later,
That's what I was thinking about doing. Yes.
but the beholder might get an eye ray off before you go.
Yeah, I think the second option is still the better option because at least there's a saving throw. Yeah.
You don't mind me narrating. Roberta, the aura around you is glowing. You know what it does. You've seen it do this before. You turn around and flick. Punch?
No, I'm going to do it with my rapier so I can be a little bit further away from
Oh, I
the
see.
edge of it.
You use your rapier and twang, bounce it off the oar, which glows even more fervently as you peg it towards the window. You jumping through the window that he smashed through.
Yes, I am.
Lovely. You leap through the window he just smashed through, right behind Testus. As you do, a single ray is going to fire out after you.
Sure.
Can you please make a wisdom saving throw?
I rolled a 1.
As a ray of green energy hits you in the back of the path,
Oh, well, we're better.
you feel terrified. You are frightened, and you will struggle to take any action. But you are leaping out of the window. Do you try and grab hold of Testus?
I will try and grab hold of Testus.
Make an athletics check.
I don't actually need to grab hold of him because he's within 6 foot of me, so actually.
Fine. You're not going to try and grab hold
Yeah,
of
I'm
him.
not going to try and grab hold of him.
As you leap out the window and fall, and Testus, as you slowly fall away using your sorceress magic, wind magic, to keep you aloft. Yes, sorceress magic keep you aloft. Behind you, in the area above, you two pelting down the stairs, you hear an almighty explosion. The window above you shatters out as there's an almighty green explosion of eldritch energy blasting out of the room. The hallway behind you is filling with this eldritch blast. You are running down the stairs, but it might still catch you if you don't do something drastic.
Run faster!
Make an athletics check.
12.
12. Do you try and help your friend?
I did dash. I am 30 feet ahead of him.
Sure. Make an athletics check.
Just run quicker. See if I can outrun you. It's athletics. 11.
11 and 12. You both just peg it down, pushing each other on the stairs, and manage to avoid the tongue of eldritch flame that pours out of the room, and manage to escape the room in time. As from the outside, the entire top half of the keep explodes. Again. There is gouts of eldritch energy blasting out of it from all sides. And as you're running and as you two are falling, you can see that the sky above you, which has been blood red this entire time, slowly starts to clear, almost as if you are literally reducing the cult's impact on this place forever. However, you're also both falling towards spikes in the ground.
On that note, can I cast Thunder Wave down at the spikes in the hope of breaking enough of them that if we fall, at least we won't be impaled?
Sure, absolutely.
Be, bone shattering.
And I'll also Featherfall as a reaction.
I will let you cast Featherfall if you pass a Wisdom saving throw to not be too scared of this moment.
That's fair.
Another one.
I'm also going to use Tempestuous Magic when I cast it.
Could you
Hang on. You cast a Thunder Wave beneath you, don't need to roll for it. Boom! You manage to clear some of the spikes. There's still some there. It won't be the easiest impact in the world. However, your new friend, as you cast Tempestuous Magic and keep yourself aloft, is falling right past you. Do you try and grab her?
Of course.
Then make an athletics check to try and grab her.
I'm not one of those sort of sorcerers.
Sorcerer hierarchy!
At least I'm not scatty.
What was I doing? Was that Dex or
It's
Athletics?
an athletics check to grab.
That's a 7, I'm afraid.
A 7. You try and grab Roberta, who falls past you.
Sorry!
I will give you one last saving throw to try and featherfall yourself before you hit the ground.
18.
Split seconds before you hit the ground, you just manage to hold yourself aloft.
I cast it on him.
No need. You manage to hold yourself aloft about 5 feet above this spiked moat on the outside of the castle as chunks of debris rain around you and the sky clears of the red, and it looks like you have freed Deriland from the influence of the cult.
Looks like that, but she did.
And on that bombshell, we will end this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Thank you so much for joining us, both here and on the Twitch stream. If you enjoyed this hour of Adventurers Wanted, you are welcome to join us again. You can buy tickets from the Ed Fringe website or from Sweet Venues or at the box office out there. We are running on the hour, not on the hour, we're running it from 10:30 till 2:30 every day of the Fringe, 4 hours a day. So if you enjoyed this, you're welcome to come back at any time. Tickets are just £5. If you want to play, there are seats at the table available every hour. If you fancy having a go at playing Dungeons and Dragons yourself, again, it's only £5, and we're very, very happy to help people who've never played before start to get a better sense of the rules and how this game works. If you can't join us, then you can also live stream the show at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted, and there will also be videos on YouTube a couple of days after the fact. We have to download and upload them again because internet. So you will be able to keep on with the adventure if you so choose to. Our stage managers, Nemo and Naomi, are also live tweeting the event, so if you follow us at Adventurers250 on Twitter, you can read what's happening as well if you prefer your stories in novel form. We are also on Facebook and Instagram and other things that I'm a bit too old to understand. It's Adventurers250 or Adventurers Wanted in all cases. Please follow, share, like, comment, I don't know, stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah. You can do things like that on there. We also have a Patreon page where you can patronise us and help us do what we do in return for a host of rewards. We do marathon events like this in Edinburgh, we also do shows in London, and we try and do open gaming events where people can find out more about D&D and the uses of tabletop role-playing in day-to-day life, of which there are many. Let me thank my players for having such a wonderful time today. Thank you ever so much. Could you all please take a second to plug everything else you're doing at the Fringe? Do you two want to go first?
Sure. So we're doing a show, Dom and I have a show at the Fringe. It's called Providence.
The Shadow over Lovecraft.
It's about the horror writer H.P. Lovecraft and his life and works. It's on at 5 o'clock in Assembly Rooms, and it's 2 for 1.
Ooh.
Comic horror for those who fancy it.
Comic horror, H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe, right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And
lovely.
everyone else.
And everyone else involved. Lovely, excellent.
Not at the Fringe, but I run a blog on Tumblr called dndplans.tumblr.com, where I'm trying to create like a space for people to share their plans for their homebrew content and their campaigns, and like get constructive criticism or help or just cheered on. Currently it's my stuff, and currently it's very quiet because I'm here. But yeah, it is something I'm starting. So if you're interested here or on Twitch, then please like give it a follow, submit some stuff. Let's have a chat about D&D and stuff.
Excellent. Chris?
And I am plugging all Sweet Venues. We are here at Grass Market and Novotel. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all under Sweet Venues. And come enjoy some shows this Ed Fringe.
I think we should all vouch for Sweet Venues because we do shows here and they're wonderful people. So, yes, Sweet
love
Venues. Props. Lovely. Thank you so much for joining us online as well as in person, and hopefully we will see you again soon. That's us done for the day. Thank you again to my lovely players, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers, guys.
Goodbye.